Well, welcome. I'm Fancy Nancy, Nancy at FancyNancyStamps.com, and I want to welcome you to my studio today. Today we're going to be working on a fancy fold card, and actually I did one for you on Tuesday just like it, but I'm going to use it with my Nature's Harvest today, giving it a whole different look. So just to review, I want to show you the card that I made the other day. Let's get that down so you can see it. This is the card that we made. It was really fun, and if you open it up you see that it just has a great fold and it's interesting. I think it works for both genders and ages, and I think it will just be a fun one. Coming back, I want to just talk to you a minute. The reason I'm using Nature's Harvest today is that we're coming up against registration deadline for the online card club, and Nature's Harvest is my theme this month, and so I wanted you to see what I'm working on and kind of the quality of cards that goes out of my studio, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Also want to remind you we're getting to the end, but we're still in summer shenanigans. And summer shenanigans means that when you're watching this video, be sure to comment, be sure to share. Any feedback you give me is helpful. So I'm asking you to do that. And when you do, I put your name in a drawing, and that drawing occurs on the 20th of the month. There's other ways to get your name in the drawing as well. You could participate in a class, both online or face-to-face. You can place an order. That's another way to get that little entry into the bucket. And of course, you can join my team and attend a meeting, and again, your name goes into the bucket. What happens in the bucket? Oh, come on. We do a drawing on the 20th of the month. The prizes have been very good. Last month it was a stamping bundle. I'm not going to tell you what this month is, but I am going to tell you that on the final drawing day, every entry that has been for the whole 3 months is going into the bucket, and I'm drawing for a $50 gift certificate at my store. So I'm hoping that's a real incentive for you folks to join us and in any way that you can in summer shenanigans. So let's get started. Let's have a little fun today. As I said, I'm going to be working with Nature's Harvest. Here we go. Whoops, didn't go. There we are. We're going to be working on Nature's Harvest, and the paper that goes with Nature's Harvest has two predominant colors. That has kind of a crumb cake color and also a misty moonlight color. And so we're going to use both of them in this particular card. Excuse me. So we'll come back to this in a minute. So let's start with our piece of Misty Moonlight, that it is cut 11 across the top by 5.5, and then we are going to score it. Scoring is simple. There's going to be 3 scores in the whole thing. We're going to start at scoring at 1 3/4. And before I get going, before I go too far, I want to remind you that our cutting, this is the Stampin' Up cutting machine or blade or whatever, I don't know. The first blade, this darker blade, is my cutting blade. I won't be using that, so I'm going to just push it out of the way. But we are going to score at 1 3/4. So let's just do that, get a nice firm score. And then we're going to go to 5.5. Again, we want a nice firm score line. Make sure that when I moved it, I didn't. And then we go to 9 3/4. So just to recap, if you're writing this down, 1 3/4, 5.5, and 9 3/4. So we'll do that one. And that's all the scoring we have to do, which makes it very nice. We are going to fold it. And I think the easiest thing is to fold it in half, that 5.5. I want to use my bone folder to get really good firm score line, because there's going to be a lot of bulk to this particular card, and I want to make sure it fits in the envelope very well. I'm going to fold the first one back, and then I have another score line here, from the back half, and I will fold it forward as well. And we'll crease these and make them look perfect. All right, so that's how we start. We have also cut some pieces. Again, the Designer Series paper is from Nature's Harvest. And we have 3 pieces of paper. And I want to make sure there is definitely an upside down, so I want to make sure that everything's looking good here. There we are. And we're going to add a little, I wanted this Misty Moonlight is a beautiful color, but I wanted to add more distinctive feel to it. So I pulled out some of my Night of Navy, and I am going to put them together. You can see that I didn't cut it smaller top to bottom, but I did on the sides. And so I think that's enough to give us the definition that I'm looking for. And I'm going to be using my Stampin' Seal. Come on. Sometimes it just doesn't grab, and I just want to make sure I have a good adhesive line. I just want to make sure that I've got equal amounts on each side. There we go. This piece is going to go on this inside right here. So let us put that in there. I want to make sure that I have equal borders all the way around. I believe I do. There we go. And then we'll go to this front piece. And this one I want to be slightly different. So I chose this, this color. I didn't tell you the dimensions. I'm very sorry. Let's go back to this. This piece is 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. So to give it that 1/8 of an inch on each side, this is 3 5/8 across, and it is 5 1/4 down. You might choose, you might want even more of the dark blue, and I think that's perfectly fine. In all honesty, I had already cut these pieces, and so I just didn't want to waste paper. So I just made sure it was consistent throughout. I think that the directions that I have prepared to post do show cutting this one a little bit different, but it's exactly what I was just saying. I probably would have added even more definition, but for already having pieces cut. I'm like that. I don't know. I must have had a mother that grew up in the Depression, because she sure taught me all that stuff. All right, I'm going to lay this on the top. Again, it's even at the top. Keep it equal going down. And then we're going to put that right here. There we go. And again, we want to even it up so that everything across the top and the bottom is even. I'm like that, you know. There we go. Then we have our last piece, and I wanted to go back to this sunflower looking piece. This piece is 1 1/8 across, it's 5 1/4 down. This piece is 1 across and 5 1/4 down. And we'll go ahead and put that one on. Again, I have all these dimensions ready to go up when I'm done with the video so that you can see it. And it's even across the top and the bottom with a nice little border on each side. There we go. And then we'll put this piece right here. And again, I'm lining it up at the top because I want it all to look really nice and even. There we go. Isn't that going to be pretty? All right, well, I'm doing this one a little different from yesterday. I'm going to pull this back in. The only extra decoration I had on the outside was this medallion. This time I decided that I wanted some more. So I am going to add these two pieces, which by the way, were cut using two of the dies from Nature's Harvest. And is that right? Nature's Harvest, yes. They are such beautiful dies. They don't even need stamps to look beautiful, but mixed together, they're quite wonderful too. In this case, they're my shadows because you can see that the pattern on this paper is exactly what I'm putting down in front. So that's what I'm going to do. And I want to move it over so that it is going to show even when the card is open. So we're going to go pretty much to our sides. I'm going to use my liquid glue. I always call it the green bottle glue, I don't know. And I'm just going to add just enough glue to make it adhere but not have glue every darn place I look. And it's kind of hard because these are, you know, thin little branches. Another way you can do this is when you're cutting this out, you could use our adhesive sheets and makes it like just like a sticker, and it works wonderful. However, I felt confident, so I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to add my sunflower, or my coneflower, is whatever you grew up calling these. My customers that come to my house are always smile and say, "Oh, those are the flowers you have in the front yard." Indeed, I do, right at my entryway. I think they're so beautiful, and they're just cheery. So again, I will put this right here. Pretty, very pretty. Okay, so before we work on the next step, I want to go to the inside. And I have prepared, again, a piece of the dark, the Night of Navy. It is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of white that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And we're going to have a little fun here. I am going to, and I better find a little piece of scrap here before we get to going too far. Doesn't take much. I'm going to use, I don't know what you're going to call this splatter. I think it could be, it looks like, almost like dead leaves. And I'm going to use that at the bottom, just to ink up a little space here. Nothing much, but I don't want it to be what I call first generation. So I am going to stamp off a couple times before I ever add the ink to paper, because I just want it to be just light. And there was a seam and it caught that seam, doggone it. There we go. One more, I think. There we go. That little Goomba right there is going to bother me, but the perfectionist in me has got to let it go. And I have a sentiment that's going to say, "Love you, friend." I have a dear friend that just had surgery, and I want to make sure that she knows I'm thinking of her. So, she's not sick, really, so I didn't want to do a get well, but she's definitely not on her feet. So we're going to do it like this. Love you, friend. And then I'm also going to use this daisy outline. And I'm not going to go all the way on. I'm going to end up with, here we go. I'm going to use another scratch sheet of paper. Oh, I love it when I do stuff like this. I told some of you folks that I had to move my videoing upstairs so that I would be close to my router. It seems to be the only way I'm going to win at this game. And so It is so hard. I always seem to leave something downstairs, which is where the studio is. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. And I'm going to now add this to my blue sheet. I could have even stamped it lighter one more time, but I'm good. I'm good with this. It's so much fun. Every card I make, I end up making it about 3 or 4 times because, you know, I send them to what I call rehab. There's just, you know, I'm going to add this or I'm going to do this or that. Makes me happy, actually. I'm not complaining. Okay, now we'll put that on the inside. And then we'll work on our belly band to just give it the best ever. The best look ever. Okay, so we've got that. Now, we have 2 pieces of paper here. This Night of Navy piece is 1 inch by 11, and this piece is 3/4 inch by 11. And first thing I'm going to do is to attach them. Sure that I have the same amount, top and bottom. Oops, 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 you didn't even see that happen. Oh, don't do it to me. There we go. Ooh. There was almost a crisis there. Crisis averted. But in all that hubbub, I got off center, so let's just get her back. There we go. And I can trim that off. Bet you didn't think I was going to save that. Neither did I. All right, now I'm going to wrap this gently around my card. And I want to make sure that I have it snug, but not tight. Because whoever gets this card is going to want to take this on and off. And so I want to make sure. Now I am going to trim about 1/2 inch right there, and I am probably going to lift this up and do about 1/2 inch here too, because it's just not necessary. There we go. And then I'm going to apply some adhesive, and then we'll talk about what goes next. And I think the best thing is just to make a nice what I call a big bunch of tape, because again, it's going to be manipulated on and off, and you want it to be nice and strong. So there we go. Now, I want to do a cute little medallion. You know, remember I had a flower on the one yesterday. So I cut 2 pieces. This is the Tasteful label, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blue one and cut it in half. I'll show you what I'm going to do here in a minute. And then I'm also going to have little pieces of glue here. I'm going to stamp my sentiment, which is, and I didn't tell you, I kind of snuck this one in. I use sentiments from another set, Shaded Summer. And some of you may know that in our celebration, the one of the choices that you have for a free item is the framelets that go with this set. And it is a beautiful set, and I think that sentiments make it. So I want you to know that this is a really great purchase and then a gift besides. And don't forget, celebration is really awesome because it's the way that you are thanked 3 different ways. The first way is when you buy and you have a $50 purchase, you get to choose an item from the Celebration catalog. The second way is you can host, and there are better benefits during hosting time. And I do have to say that the host set is the best. To me, it's the best one we've ever had for Celebration. And the last one is we reward our folks who decide to join. Well, what's that all about? Well, here it is in a nutshell. When you join Stampin' Up, you immediately get a 20% discount. Who can beat that? And I tell some of my best customers, well, all of my best customers, the best way for you to always shop at Stampin' Up is to get that 20% sale. We all look for it. I mean, you know that you wait for the white sale to buy sheets and you get 20% off. So think this through. This is a great opportunity. So let me tell you, you'd say, okay, I'd like to join. Well, what you end up doing is you get to choose $125 worth of merchandise from any of the catalogs. And so your mini or your annual catalog, and you only pay $99. In addition, there is a select number of bundles, so both the dies and the stamps that you can get for free, which is almost between $55 and $60 another free item. I mean, this is the time to join. And so that's what I mean by we want to give our customers 3 different ways to be rewarded for their loyalty with our product. Okay, so I'm going to put this talking away. This medallion is going to say some friendships are just meant to be. And I have to tell you, this friend I'm sending it to, we met at college, and literally she picked me out of a crowd to pick on me. Just, for no reason at all. It was hilarious, and I guess I thought it was funny, she thought it was funny, and we have been fast friends for 40 years. So no, it's much closer to 50. I lie, I'm sorry. I give away how old I am. But it's just one of those friendships that just doesn't die. It's just been wonderful. And I count her among my best. Okay, so now I told you I was going to cut this piece in half, and I'm going to frame my medallion with this blue. I'm probably going to have to trim a little bit away, and I've got tape on each side, so I'm going to do the same thing. I've kind of want it to be about the same distance away. There we go. Like I said, I've got a little bit of blue here that's going to make me nuts. So I'll trim that off. And I'm going to put this right here. Is this cool or what? This is making me beyond happy. I can trim here at the top too. Can you see that I have a little bit of extra? So I'm going to trim that off too because I just want it to be beautiful. Alrighty, here we go. So that is our card. Isn't that cool? Well, before I've got more to do. What am I saying? I decided that this card had to have an envelope too. And I'm really big on not having naked envelopes. So we're going to decorate this one by, first of all, by just putting a little adhesive on the flap itself. And then I am going to lay this scrap of paper right at the fold. There we go. And then we're just going to trim around. I have decorated my envelopes for my bills probably for 25 years, and I get the biggest kick out of the mailman because he thinks it's hilarious. I'll get comments from him about some of the various scenes that I have put on my envelopes. Okay, there we go. Now we have a real beautiful setup. Let me tell you a little tip. I have been telling you, let me get my face back up. I have been telling you that today is the day, or not, excuse me, the 15th is the day by which you need to sign up for the online card class. I have put in the information for this video, I have put a link to my website where I talk a lot about my different clubs. This particular card is going to be my online card club and this month, and I always send out 4 cards. Those 4 cards are gorgeous cards. I'm always very, very proud of them. And you have enough materials, paper cut, all of the embellishments, everything you need to make 8 cards, 2 each of the 4 designs. In addition, you also get some beautiful Stampin' Up! Product, between $20 to $25 worth of product. It all relates to the Harvest Meadow Suite. So know that once I pick up a theme, I carry it through. If you don't have the Harvest Suite stamps, for instance, I make those available to you, no tax, no ship. So it's an 18% discount. It's hard to beat that. And so I am telling you, my card club is a bargain. But there's one more piece. If you want to try it out, I want you to. And so I am making your first card club free if you join me. Again, you sign up by the 15th, and everything you need to know is at that website. You can go there, and we're going to make this work for you. It's a fun club. The people that have tried it out have enjoyed it. I have gotten favorable feedback, and of course I always welcome feedback because I keep wanting to improve it. So I'm going to give you some quick sneak peeks of what's coming in the mail to clubs. So let's do this real quick. There's this one, which I love. We'll just let it keep going away. There's this one, which I love. I love them all. Otherwise, I wouldn't put them in my card club. And this one, I will admit, I cased from a gal, another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who does beautiful work. And I'm very thankful for the people that do cards that I can look at and get great ideas. So with that being said, here we go. 15th, September 15th is the deadline to sign up. And I will be in touch with you once you sign up and check with you to see if you want the Harvest Meadow stamp bundle as well, or Nature's Harvest stamp bundle, and we'll make that available to you. That sums up the week. This has been a great week. Kids are back in school. Things are quiet in the neighborhood. I'm getting lots of work done in the studio. And I even had a class this week and just enjoyed that face-to-face contact with friends. I welcome you. By the way, tomorrow is the last day to sign up for our paper pumpkin. And this one, you know, is our annual goodie box bag kit. It's one of the funnest ones. And the kids at Stampin', my kids club, all had to have one. They thought it was wonderful. And I'm telling you, I look forward to this every year. So let me know if you need that, and I'll get that in the mail to you. We have just an exciting month here, and there's more to come next week. So I will see you next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Join me and think hard on that online card club. See you soon. Bye-bye.